Hello, my name is Rod Compton, Customer Service Engineer for the Hawker 125 model series. In this video, I will be showing some locations of units typically installed on the Hawker Proline 21 aircraft. We will be focusing on those units installed in the cabin or main fuselage, F3, frame station 8 through 10A. I will also include the crew cabinet components located on the left-hand side of the cockpit. Frames 8 through 10 on the right-hand side of the cabin are typically referred to as the vestibule area. PP/PQ terminal strip. CG connectors, CG 1, 2, 6, and 7. Data concentrator units and or engine data concentrator. These units are used for taking analog airframe signals to the flight displays in the cockpit. Items like engine data, flap position, and fuel quantity are just a few examples. The 900XP only has 2 DCUs and uses the Digital Engine Electronic Computer, or DEECs, in place of the EDCs. The DEECs are located in the rear bay area. The aircraft in the video today also has XM weather unit installed. This unit is located here. DA connectors 48, 49, 50 are shown here. There are other DA labeled connectors. Most of these connectors are located inside the DA behind the DA-C subpanel. We will save the inside of the DA for another video. This next area is typically called the Relay Junction Panel, or J Avionics Panel. The relays for the autopilot trim system are located here. Technical support receives many inquiries regarding the location of terminal or junction blocks as well as relays. Most of these are located here. Wiring diagram 149-348820 has a note that all relays on rails 348861 through 348869 are mounted in the cabin J-panel assembly. This is the J-panel area being referred to. Wiring diagram 149-348810 listed terminal blocks that are installed in the cabin would most likely be located here are labeled 3488A31, 3488A32, 3488A34, 3488A35, and 3488A37. These are the lighting power supply units referenced in the wiring parts catalog, 245045. These power supplies are for some of the lighted panels in the cockpit, including the pressure controller and the triple indicator. These are labeled 3484 PS5, PS6, PS7, and PS8. Also seen here are circuit breakers also referenced in the wiring parts catalog 245045. Not all the circuit breakers are on the DA panel. These are labeled CB9 through CB16. Moving aft just a bit, shown here would be the location of the DCU/EDCs number 2 for the 750, 800, and 850 XPs. The aircraft in the video, as I mentioned earlier, is a 900 XP and uses the DEECs in place of these EDCs. Shown here is another component necessary for the XM radio weather installation on this aircraft. Here are the entertainment connectors, FB2, FB3, and FB4. These are typically shown on the completion drawings as most of the cabin entertainment CMS wiring runs through these connectors. Depending on options installed, there is a possibility for an FB connector here also. The connectors shown here are labeled CP1, CP2, CP3, and CP4. Most of these are listed as spares for the entertainment options that are available. The use of these connectors will depend upon completions. As a side note, notice the large harness that I am showing here. This is the main wiring harness for the Hawker in the cabin. If your aircraft is equipped with video displays, in this location will be the video relay panel. Moving down to the forward baggage component panel, you can see the label FBTB1. There are also some relays on this panel as well. The wiring diagram reference designator would be FB for this panel. Here are a couple more of the FB connectors, FB1 and FB5. This is the cabin air operated Venturi. Shown here is the cabin air temp assembly with blower. Here is the forward emergency lights power supply. This is the 6-volt Grimes unit. Looking forward now below the DA panel, basically the forward side of the forward baggage compartment. You can now see some other items I will identify. Secondary Flight Display ADU Air Data Unit. This unit supplies air data information that is displayed on the secondary flight display located in the center instrument panel. Here are some additional dimmer lighting supplies similar to those seen earlier in the video. These are labeled 3484 PS11 and 3484 PS12. Along with the dimmer power supplies are some additional light power circuit breakers labeled CB17 and CB18. This is the Radio Master Relay subpanel. Located here are relays K8, K9, K10, K36, K37, K38, and K40. These relays are here for the radio bus power and cabin bus power. Diode CR11 and smoke detector amplifier is also located here. This is the 8x8 audio-video distributor and is one of the components in the CMS system. Chime audio is just one of the many audio inputs to this unit. This unit is also used for DVD and video inputs and outputs. While we are in this location, I would also like to mention connectors below the DA panel, 3489 P31, P32, P33, and so on, also known as the cabin disconnects. These connectors on pre-Proline 21 aircraft were referenced as two-letter designators, such as DA, DB, DC, and DD. Tech support receives many calls asking for these connector locations. The connectors are actually located behind this panel. Moving over to the left-hand side, just forward of the main entry door to the area typically called the crew cabinet. Many times I have taken calls for the location of the interphone amplifier. It is located on the top of the crew cabinet, approximately in the location I am pointing to here. To access the amplifier will require the removal of the crew cabinet. Shown here is the database unit used to load navigation data. This is referred to as the maintenance panel. Located here are the calibration switches for the compass labeled FDU1 and FDU2. The switch labeled MHS is for calibrating the magnetometer used to display heading on the secondary display. And finally, the maintenance port for the EGPWS. Some of you may notice there is no EFS switch typically used to access the maintenance diagnostics. For IFAS-equipped aircraft, assessing the maintenance diagnostics is done with the cursor control panel, so this switch is removed. Here is the spare filaments drawer. Located at the bottom of the crew cabinet, if installed, is the source select panel. This panel is needed if the aircraft is using CPAS to load software to the file server units. This concludes the video on the locations of some of the equipment installed on the Hawker in the forward fuselage area, frames 8 through 10. Thank you for watching, and I hope you find the information here useful for your operations. If you have any questions regarding this video or any other technical assistance, please feel free to contact us in technical support at 1-800-429-5372 or 316-676-3140 or via email at hawker_support@txtav.com. Also, please check back often as new videos are always being added.